Uh-oh, guess what day it is?
I'm gonna make you girls a hump day treat.
Mike. It's hump day.
Perhaps I could help you with that hump. What hump?
A very good day for some midweek malarkey.
Why, yes, it is. Let's see if it does it. The camel leaves, and do I appear? No, I'll be damned. Well, it's kind of a crazy day. I don't know if you've noticed that or not, but this is Midweek Malarkey. It is Hump Day. It's Wednesday. It's Mayday. It's the 1st of May. In 3 days, the 4th will be with you. If you're listening to the podcast right now, that means you're a future person. And don't forget that on Wednesdays at 4 o'clock Central Time, we do this thing live. I'm looking around to make sure everything looks like it's good. Really, I mean, you never can tell anymore, but I think we're good. Kind of exciting to be here. At Real Brad Staggs on all of the socials, and you are welcome to joining the convo over at thedailymojo.com and midweekmalarkey.com. And of course, if you have any suggestions for any of the craziness, because what we do every Wednesday is get together and kind of call out the wackadoo that's out there. And there's a lot of wackadoo out there. I don't know if you noticed that or not, but there is a boatload of wackadoo. But you can't lose sight of, what makes us all human. And if you are a listener of the Daily Mojo, welcome into the Midweek Malarkey program. You know that I have been recently on the love affair. It's like AI is like my Tinder date. And I wrote a song. Well, I didn't write it, but I gave the zeros and ones the idea for the song, and it turned out great. And it's about crazy people. So we'll get to that before the end of the program. Now, the stories you will hear today are the crazy people that will make you feel far better about yourself because, well, they're crazy. Take, for instance, this woman. I don't know what her name is. Is it Ivy Bloom? Wow. Could be Ivy Bloom. But Ivy Bloom is, she's interesting. She's fascinating. She is eccentric. I don't know if she has money or not, but I mean, if she has money and she's crazy, she's eccentric. Otherwise, it's just a little crazy. But if you go over to Ivy Bloom's house, you've got a few rules you got to follow, especially if you have to poop. She'll explain.
I require all my guests to use the bathroom outside. Hi, my name is Ivy Bloom, and this is my outdoor potty area. I used to let my friends use the bathroom in my house, but I've since learned how unsanitary that is. Before entering the potty...
Wait, what? It's unsanitary? Okay. Again, they'll make you feel better about yourself.
I require guests to put on these foot covers, and first-timers are required to read the rules. The most important rule is to dig at least 6 inches from an existing stick, because that's where another guest has dug a hole. It's pretty simple. You just dig a hole, do what you have to do, and put your toilet paper on top. I provide seeds that must be placed inside to keep my garden growing, and once that's placed inside, you cover it up with the dirt you dug up, and then place some leaves on top. The last thing you have to do is mark the spot with one of these sticks. I do live in Arizona, and it gets really hot, so I provide a bucket with refreshments and snacks that visitors can snack on while using the bathroom. And yes, there is a privacy curtain. Once that's done, they can take the covers off their feet and wash them in this bucket. Then they have to place them in this jar so that the next guest can use them. Once my guest is done using the bathroom, I require them to sign this journal. And I do respectfully ask for tips because maintaining this area can get a little expensive.
Surely that isn't real. It is, and don't call me Shirley. Young minds, fresh ideas. She's making money if she's getting people to tip her while she's, you're dumping in her backyard, and it's kind of weird. But then really, if you get right down to it these days, tell me what's not weird. I mean, everything's weird. No, that's Humpday Habib. He's hanging out over there. He sees a camel. It's Hump Day. Let's see. Moving on to the rules. No, she has rules for pooping in her yard and wearing the little booties. I'm pretty sure I'm out on that one. I'm not wearing booties. But there is in Birmingham. That would be in England, not in Alabama. A Birmingham neighborhood has been dubbed now the UK's strictest housing estate for issuing residents a 32-page handbook. This is why I could never live inside an HOA. There are some do's, there are some don'ts that all residents of Calthorpe Estate, about a mile from the city center, have to remember. You can only paint your like gates. You can only be, I guess, your whole house. You can only paint it an accepted color, an approved color. Now, to be fair, if you go to Kohler, Wisconsin, you have to get, at least it was this way a few years back, you have to get the okie dokie from Mr. Kohler if you're going to paint your house. Because after all, it is Kohler, Wisconsin. And, well, you know, it's good to be king. So the gates can be painted black. You see a red gate, you want it painted black. Timber sheds, glazed greenhouses, similar garden structures in your rear garden can be no more than 2 millimeters. That's 2 meters wide, 3 meters long, and a couple of meters wide. You can't use artificial grass. Nowhere where it can be seen can you use artificial grass. That seems like artificial grass, especially the stuff you get at Costco. I mean, that stuff looks legit, and you don't have to water it. If you have a driveway or parking area, it should be proportional to your garden area. And, I mean, when you were growing up, I'm sure your parents told you the same thing. You're going to have a driveway and a parking area. You want to make it proportional to your garden area. Otherwise, people will look down on you. If you have excessive areas of hard standing, it won't be permitted. But you got to be able to get down in the garden area and not have to hard stand. That's what they say. Commercial vehicles and caravans, motorhomes, they can be parked on your driveway. Why do we park in the driveway and drive a parkway? But they can be parked there for short periods for temporary purposes. But they do encourage that larger vehicles, like motorhomes, trailers, boats, and caravans, be parked out of sight. So take the largest vehicle that you possibly can find and try to make it invisible. Plus, you can't, you can have a mini satellite dish. Those still exist. Let's see, but bins, I think those would be trash cans. You have to move your trash can. Again, you have to keep your garden area neat. Nobody wants a sloppy garden area. If you are not around, you may wish to ask a neighbor or a friend to move your bins, especially if they're tending to your garden. The criteria for working from home, because you have to get permission to do that. We don't want you at home tending your garden. That's just rude. It's pretty strict if you want to work from home. If you're planning to start a business, you have to be able to demonstrate that no employees at a business will work at the residence, aside, of course, from the members of the resident's household. The business will not advertise from the residential address from which it is operating. You can't have posters. You can't talk about how fabulous your garden area is. You can't do that. It's just not going to. They will not allow you to go out there and brag about your garden area. Just keep it nice and tidy and trimmed and neat, and you'll be fine. And you cannot hold any stock on the premises. Hey, these people are strict. Why would you want to live in a place like that? Well, I guess it weeds out the riffraff, but still, it seems like a pain in the ass to me. But not if your garden is kept in tip-top shape. See the craziness going on in England? I think it was yesterday. Dude with a sword. This is insane. Now, a second. I think I have a couple of pieces of video of dude with the sword. Stand by here. I think that's part of it. There we go. Right there. This dude starts running around with. So there might be some language in here, but after all, it's a dude with a sword. So why wouldn't there be language in here? Remember, you can't, the gun thing in England, because they got pretty strict gun control, but now you got people with, there's another part to that. There he is. This is when they catch him. So the guy's running amok through the towns over there, the little towns, the hamlets, if you will. And they finally, they move in on him. And he's climbing over garbage cans. And then I realized that the sound, the ambiance there, if you listen, it sounds like Pink Floyd, Brick at the Wall. How can you have any pudding if you don't eat your meat? I'm pretty sure that's what they were saying as they were tasing him, and that may actually be code for "Don't tase me, bro." But dude had a legit sword. This is like the third or fourth sword incident that we've had. Not just that's some dude randomly punching. This is like the third or fourth sword incident that we've had. The one guy that was trying to master the katana at the hotel, which is, it's never advisable to try to master the katana with the cops there in front of you because they have guns. Now, see, in England, they don't have the guns. So you got the sword. You're like, hey, I got the sword. What do you got? Well, they had tasers and they tased him. Bruh. I don't know what's up with the sword thing, but, and I think that dude's like killed at least one person. I don't know if you knew this or not, but there's some crazy out there. I know, right? It is insane. Off to Pennsylvania, shall we? This is the look of, I don't know if that's the look of success, if that's the look of, oh yeah, I did it. If that is determination, but that is the face of Edel Thomas. He's 35 years old. He was pulled over driving a Ford Explorer. Oh, I don't know. It seems so sad that a Ford Explorer. Yeah, But to make up for the Ford Explorer, he was questioned by the police. He was extremely nervous, and his hands were visibly trembling. Now, it could be he just, had the hots for the cop, and that happens sometimes. You get pulled over. It's like, oh, this could turn out completely different than what I thought it would. But apparently he was pretty nervous. He was returning home from the Pittsburgh area, and we all know what happens in Pittsburgh, right? After having driven earlier that day to Philadelphia, where he had, the story was that he sold a dog to a man at a gas station. It sounds a lot like the I gotta see a guy about a horse. And if there's a dog involved, I don't think Kristi Noem was anywhere near. Pretty sure. Don't think so, but one never knows. The trooper who was pulling over and effecting the traffic stop, he decided that old Thomas here, Edel Thomas, was being deceptive. I don't know how you decide if somebody's being deceptive, but he decided he was, this dude was being deceptive. Nervous, fidgety, not right. Maybe that's what that look is on his face. Maybe that's the look of deceptivity. Could be. So the affidavit that the police had obtained. It cannot be overstated that Philadelphia is, in fact, the source location for the distribution of narcotics and a regional epicenter for all criminal activity, and is a hotbed for wholesale narcotics trafficking stash houses. Now, I don't know that Philly can hold a candle to Okmulgee in Oklahoma, because let me see, you want some good crank, or that's where Okmulgee. That's apparently the place to go. Kids, stay in school, don't do drugs. But the police decided that they were going to, check on him, and he did have a history of narcotics violations. And they said, we want to search your vehicle. We want to search your Ford Explorer. Sorry. Inside the Ford, the cops found 3 large bags containing suspected heroin packaged for resale. As a matter of fact, they found not 1, not 2, not 10, not 15, 20, not 100, not 500. They found 25,000 stamp bags. A stamp bag, I don't have to tell you what a stamp bag is. I mean, a stamp bag. No, I don't stamp. A stamp bag is a glassine that contains a single dose of heroin. Again, Mr. Thomas there, Edale Thomas, was arraigned last Tuesday. Variety of felony and misdemeanor drug charges. Judge ordered him to be locked up in lieu. Where is lieu exactly? But he's going to be locked up in lieu of $10,000 bail. So if you were waiting on a visit from Edale Thomas and you'd maybe paid up front, you're going to be waiting a while. 25,000 bags. That is amazing. Next up, if he was the look of regret, this dude here is the look of desperation. Probably. Or depravity. And what is it with these people that want to go into bathrooms and take pictures of people? It's like feet. It might even be worse than feet. Feet freaks. So he apparently was in Walmart. He's a 24-year-old. What is his name? He was wearing black Crocs. Do we have his name? He's from Jessup, down in Wayne County. Employees explained that this guy, the man in the black Crocs and dark sweatpants, had been sitting inside the restroom stall for over an hour. An officer entered the adjacent stall to see if the suspect would place his phone underneath, but he did not. And let's not forget the Larry Craig method out in Denver, where you have a wide stance. If you don't remember that one, look it up. These people. The officer then waited outside the restroom for the man to exit. He confronted him. He asked, here we go, Kershawn Michael Parker. Kershawn Michael Parker. He said, I want you to unlock your cell phone. The dude, the cop then looked through all the photographs, didn't find anything suspicious in the regular albums, but when he looked in the recently deleted albums, he discovered multiple videos captured from inside the stall, as well as many others from other times. The officers handcuffed Parker while they searched through his phone more thoroughly. They found additionally some more deleted videos spanning several weeks, some of which appeared to have been posted to a social media account. Really? They investigated, identified the recently suspended X, formerly known as Twitter, account. They then seized his phone, transported him to Wayne County Jail without incident. This case is, in fact, pending in court. So that, in fact, right there is probably the look of regret. It happens. But I mean, I'm not condoning what he did, and he did say, I guess, go ahead. And you can search my phone. So if you're going to do that, you're going to do that. Right? Right. By the way, this episode of Midweek Malarkey is brought to you by our affiliate partner over at GetWellMojo.com. I'm not saying that there's a paid promotional advertising because I'm not being paid to promote it, but if you want to go to GetWellMojo.com, you'll find the wellness company there, and they have some great emergency medical kits that, again, I'm not saying that the world is crazy and you're going to get infected with something, but I might be, because the world is crazy and you could absolutely get infected with something. Because there's a lot of crazy out there, and you can quote me on that. But if you are looking for a healthcare provider you can maybe trust, well, give them a shot. Habib enjoys them. Very special camel service. So it's the wellness company. The URL, the website you go to is getwellmojo.com. All right. This next individual, he looks happy. I mean, you can't really judge a book by his cover. He does look like he's got a little crazy in his eyeballs, though. I mean, let's face it, there can be crazy eyes is not gender specific. This man was, in fact, I guess he's an admitted road rageist, which, again, it's 2024. You can be anything you want to be, Johnny. This man's name is Nolan Goines. Have you been watching American Rust? Great. I love Jeff Daniels. But the people, the whoever it was that signed the water test, remember they're like NG? They can't figure out. This dude's name is Nolan Goines. Son of a... That's the dude. He's 46 years old. He was involved in a road rage incident over glaring headlights, because nobody likes to be driving down the street and you get the bright headlights in your eyes, and some dickhead is not, you flash your bright, then you realize it's a big truck and they flash their brights and they melt your windshield. But this guy had apparently pretty glaring headlights on Thursday last. He was driving near his St. Petersburg residence. The defendant, in this case, Mr. Goines, he threw food, that would be pasta with sauce, from the passenger seat of his vehicle, striking the victim through his open window as he operated his vehicle. He was found with Goines was found with the same food stains on his right sleeve as the male target of the pasta attack. It just ain't right, is it? He was charged with battery. It's, of course, a misdemeanor. He was booked into the county jail. He was freed on $1,000 bond, and he is a painting contractor. By the way, if you are in the St. Petersburg area, just look up, his first name was Nolan Goines. And if you need some painting done, he's your dude. He does have a rap sheet, though. It includes convictions for selling marijuana, obstruction, and battery twice, as well as a multitude, they say, of traffic infractions. Investigators did not identify the kind of pasta or sauce used in the alleged attack. We don't know if this is angel hair, if this is penne, if it's, what's a little corkscrew pasta? This stuff's pretty good. And as long as it's not a white sauce, because white sauce, they're too heavy, especially this time of year. But it's unclear if Goines was transporting his dinner or if, in fact, he was just driving looking for somebody to assault. Again, that sounds crazy, but it's a crazy world. It's a crazy, frightening world. Weird things happen in this crazy, frightening world. I'm going to prove that to you right now. Do you remember the story of Wally? Wally, the emotional support alligator.
Support alligator. He is far from a typical alligator.
We're going to go have fun today, huh? Ooh, you like it, huh?
See, to me...
I don't want to imagine life without Wally.
So,
Hello, I'm Joe Henney. Come on in. This is our rep.
This is a dude that he took Wally Gator to, what was it, the Pirates game, the Steelers, or wherever it was. I don't think they let him in. Anyway, he let kids, swimming with Wally, the Gator. It's a weird relationship, and it's his emotional support. Alligator. This is going to be very sad for those of you who are fans of Wally. He said the alligator was stolen from his pen on the 21st of last month. That would be 9 days ago. It was stolen from his pen and released into a large swamp in Georgia. Poor Wally. I mean, Wally's not going to know what to do out there. He's an emotional support alligator. He's not a douchebag alligator that, goes around biting people or other alligators because they don't really care who they munch on. How does the guy know that that Wally was released, though? He announced on social media on the 27th. That would have been what, Friday? Saturday? Whenever it was, he announced on the 27th that his viral emotional support animal, known for helping kids with disabilities and attending Philadelphia sporting events, had gone missing. He then shared in a post that he and his reptile pet, dubbed Wally or Wally Gator. Read my lips. Alligators. Who doesn't love a good romp with an alligator?
Did you go crazy on me, big boy?
He walks around, he gets on the couch when he wants, he loves watching TV.
He will eat your face. Because he's an alligator, mostly.
Right here, yeah. Yeah. What? Come here.
Okie dokie. So anyway, he said that they were recently visiting friends in Brunswick, Georgia. The owner claimed on Facebook on April 21st, when he was away from the residence where he was staying in Georgia, Wally was taken from his pen between 4:30 and 7 in the morning. He added that initial walking searches for Wally turned up nada. Sad, really. I mean, this is... Yeah, the face. Look at those eyes. Hey, look at those sweet eyes. Come on. Hang on a second. That's just... Look at those eyes. Look at those beady, reptilian eyes that glow in the dark, that watch you from just below the surface of the water, and as you slip into the water, those eyes are the last thing you see before you start spinning in that death spiral underneath the darkened water of the pond where Wally Gator is about to eat your face. But you don't have to worry about the owner anymore. Walking searches didn't turn up any sign of Wally Gator, and in a follow-up post, he alleged the person who stole Wally Gator was someone who likes to drop alligators off into someone's yard to terrorize them, and that someone else discovered Wally near their home and called the Georgia Department of Natural Resources. According to the post, the agency sent a trapper in response to the call, and the trapper captured Wally and dropped him off in a swamp with about 20 other alligators that same day. And so I think what we now have is Wally has probably become someone's dinner, as in another alligator. So rest in peace, likely, Wally Gator. Gone too soon. Seriously, gone too soon. All right, back in the crazy state of Washington State, because you do have to actually, both Washingtons are crazy. Washington State and Washington, D.C., both full of crazy people. If you're in Washington State, you're not the crazy one, but look around you. I mean, seriously, it's not Oregon, let's say that much, but you got some crazy people up there. Which, actually remind us a perfect segue into the song that I'm not going to take full credit, full writing credit for the song, because I don't think that would be fair. But let's see here. This particular song is really about having crazy living on your street. It's kind of, it's just, you know, it's a little weird. Let me see if I can find the song. It was there just a second ago. Yeah, there it is right there. This is a song, an AI song, and it was, I can't claim credit for writing it. I just told the nice computer, I said, hey, why don't you write me a song about, you know, craziness in this world, and why is it that I feel like a lot of the crazy in this world is camped out on my street? I'm sane, but, you know, the rest of these people are wackadoodle. And so this is what AI came up with. It's called Psychedelic Wonderland. Is that what this one is? We're gonna listen to this, and then we could do this all day.
In this crazy world, nothing's what it seems. Dancing on the edge, exploring trippy dreams. People running wild, madness in their eyes. Something's going down, it's a twisted surprise. Tiny woodland creatures making all the fuss, sneaking in our cups, adding magic to the rush. Colors start to fade, reality grows thin, drifting through the haze, chaos from within. Welcome to the psychedelic wonderland, my friend. Hold on tight, this trip will never end. It's the madness of life, driving us insane. Blame it on those creatures, playing their little game.
Now, come on, that's like early Cars. That's like Benjamin Orr. Pretty damn amazing. It took, I think, like 30 seconds for it to write that. If for whatever reason, it is. Oh, there. Now it's letting me back in. I thought for a second it had locked me out of my own account, which again wouldn't be all that crazy. I mean, it is kind of crazy town. Now, that was about magic mushrooms, so that had psychedelics going on in it. This particular song, though, this is the one. Not that one. This is the one that is about crazy living on my street.
On my old street where the craziness flows, every day's a spectacle and everybody knows. There's a lady with a parrot and a dance routine, and a man who rides a tricycle in a suit so pristine. There's a jester on the corner juggling for the crowd, and a couple tap dancing making music oh so loud. The neighbors are a circus flying high on their trapeze, but I'm just here stuck with an empty tank and knees. The world gets wild right outside my door. Every day's an adventure I can't help but adore. There's a sax man on the sidewalk playing tunes so sweet, and a clown selling cotton candy to everyone he meets.
What's a sax man? See, that's kind of get you if you're driving home now. If you're leaving work, that's kind of gets you up and going. Got a nice beat, you can dance to it. There's a sex man on the sidewalk playing tunes so sweet.
World gets wild right outside my door. Every day's an adventure I can't help but adore. There's a sax man on the sidewalk playing tunes so sweet, and a clown selling cotton candy to everyone he needs.
I'm telling you, songwriters got to be a little freaked out. I would be. I don't know how. I mean, is it genius level? It's not bad. It's better than some other stuff that I've heard played on Top 40 radio. But what do I know? So anyway, up in Washington State, as I was saying, the crazy up in Washington State, you can now, and I don't know if it's crazy or not because it kind of makes sense. You can actually buy alien abduction insurance. Huh. Washington State does rank number 2 in the nation for UFO sightings, so I mean, I guess it does make sense. The St. Lawrence Agency has and sells alien policies. It's worth mentioning, they say, that this particular form of insurance coverage is associated with the St. Lawrence Agency in Altamont Springs, Florida. Well, see, there you got the other crazy. It was founded back in 1987. The agency famous for being the pioneering provider of alien abduction insurance policies. Over the years, the agency has made headlines, garnered both support and skepticism for those policies. It's $19.99, pays out $10 million if you get abducted. $10 million. How do you prove you've been abducted? Well, there's a way for them to, they say, all you have to do, it just takes one little signature. That's all. One little signature from the alien. Meanwhile, closer to home in England, you don't feel appreciated some days at work. Think about this poor woman. Her name is Jill Cornick. She started working at that Clark's store in 1956. She was 14 years old when she got the job. It's a store in Blandford, Dorset. As she worked at that shop every day for 68 years. Can you imagine? Oh. She even postponed her honeymoon back in 1969 so that she could attend a training course for Clark's. When her son Jason was born in 1975, she put him in a playpen and raised him alongside her right there on the shop floor. Right? She, after almost 7 decades of service, the owner came to her and said, "Hey, we're shutting the shop down effective today, and you're fired." See, it doesn't pay to be loyal, does it? I mean, 70 years of your life, and did she get her final day of work, she said, was customers popping in to say goodbye and delivering flowers and chocolates. So when you have to pay your mortgage, just give them the flowers and the chocolates, right? She said, "We were all told last Thursday we're closing on Monday. It gave us all a bit of a shock. Started in 1956. I've been in the same shop since then. I felt well in myself." Hey, whatever, you do you. "I was hoping I was going to do another few years before I retired. It is, in fact, a shame. It was overwhelming, but at least I have the chocolates, to remember it all by." There's no such thing as loyalty either way anymore, right? I mean, from the employee or the employer. It just doesn't happen. By the way, if you are listening to the podcast again, if you are, at any point during the week, if you decide you want to watch and or listen to Midweek Malarkey, you can do that at thedailymojo.com. You can go to midweekmalarkey.com, and you can go into, well, in theory, you can go into the chat room and chat, which is pretty exciting. I don't know about you, but pretty damned exciting. Stop and think about it. Our next, I got a good look at these people because they've not missed any meals. It doesn't appear that they've missed any meals. They are a married couple. They do have kids, at least one sitting there. It's the one with the unfortunate pixelated face. Got to be a hell of a birthmark. She is 39. Her name is Anne. He is Bernard. He's 41. They both live in Port Talbot. They have been charged with 5 counts of fraud. And she, the mama, has also been charged with 4 counts of theft. They're in police custody right now in the Swansea Central Police Station. They'll appear in court next month for a series of crimes at 5 restaurants in a 30-mile radius. They are serial dine and dashers. If you've ever done that before, back in the day, it was fun. I think I did it once. Not proud of it, but it's life experience. But the total, let's see, have a total meals worth more than 1,000 pounds, which is close to what her weight probably is there. Restaurants even posted wanted posters in their restaurants because they'd go in and they would eat and they would get up and they'd run. You'd think they'd know them at some point because she's big, she's heavy, fat. You'd think she'd run off some of that weight. The latest alleged incident was at a brand new restaurant called Bella Chow in Swansea, and it was a 329-pound bill. Good grief. Wow. That's a lot of food. Well, I guess you got a family. Person's got to do what a person's got to do. Right? Like this dude right here. That dude right there did what he had to do. His name is Kanye Medley. No relation to me or yay. I don't think. He's 20 years old. He's behind bars now. He is charged with launching a fried chicken weapon at his sister during a domestic fight in the Florida residence where they live together. According to the investigators, he, on Sunday afternoon, got pissed. They were in some sort of a little shouting match, and dude grabbed a bag of Church's chicken from his sister and began throwing the pieces of chicken at her. One of those pieces of fried chicken hit the victim in the back and left debris of food on her shoulders. This is no laughing matter. After he was read his rights, Medley, his dude's name, reportedly admitted to throwing 2 pieces of chicken, one of which hit her. The motive for the attack, he said that he did it because he had not eaten and did not want the piece of chicken the victim offered him. So his sister's like, hey, you want some of this chicken right here? And he's like, no, I don't want that damn chicken right there. I want my own chicken. And he got pissed off. Can you blame him? I don't really blame him. And you want your own damn chicken. You don't want somebody telling you what you got to eat. You want your own damn chicken. I think a good place to wrap up today on Midweek Malarkey would be in England. Again, they do some crazy stuff over there, but this is kind of what the last, 4, 5, 6 years. When did the crazy really get into overdrive? It's been at least 6, 7, probably going on 10 years now. But this is really, this is what the last few years have felt like. It's the World Championship shin kicking contest. They grab each other there by, the shoulders, the collars. And then they kick each other in the shins.
Stop it! Jack, you're cheating again. That's it.
I mean, serious. It really does. I mean, I guess it's better than getting whacked in the schwagos, right? I mean, you'd think it would be, and boys will be boys. Am I right? I mean, they'll be boys. It just feels like life has been a lot like that for the past few years.
You have a winner.
That's what Midweek Malarkey is all about. Making you feel better about yourself. Don't forget, we'll be on the Daily Mojo tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. And there you have it. Another bunch of minutes you spent looking busy while sitting at your desk. Look, Habib might, but I won't tell if you smash that like button or subscribe or tell a friend or pay my mortgage. Just go ahead and hit like. It's easier. Another super episode of the Daily Mojo tomorrow morning. It's 7 o'clock Central with my trained Chihuahua, producer Ron, and maybe even Jeffy. If he doesn't show up, we'll ask him why on Saturday morning live with Jeff Fisher and moi right here at 9 a.m. Central. Until then, remember, keep those humps between the lines.